Have you ever made a comment about someone and then later wanted to take it back? Have you ever criticized your mom's cooking and then regretted it? Well, if you have, then I'm glad to have it to you. So my story is called The Journey of Finding the Cure to My Disease, my sufferings. Well, it sounds big because it sounds like I'm a scientist trying to figure out a cure for disease. But it's not that big. It's just a simple story of my life that I want to share with you guys today. So I have a mom who is, to me, an amazing cook. She knows how to master the seasonings of each meal and simply turn a dish into one that is flavorful and mouth-watering. And despite not being a professional cook, she always managed to satisfy my family with her delicious creations. But we used to take her cooking for granted. We would always add in suggestive comments whenever she prepared dinner for us. Like, this fish is too salty, or we put in too much seasonings into it. Well, we thought we were helping her improve, but instead we were only depreciating her efforts and never considered how painful those comments would have hurt her. So when my brother left to study abroad, and my mom became overwhelmed with her new work, she stopped putting her efforts into cooking. Instead, she made simpler, quicker dish like plain rice and just meat and root soup. And that was when I realized how lucky I was having a mom who would dedicate her entire evening to make dinner for her family. It was then that it hit me how poorly I had treated her and how bad of a child I could ever be to her. And then I felt a sense of regret for not appreciating her cooking and not showing gratitude towards her effort. So the one lesson that I want to take out from my personal story here might not be related to regrets, but it's worth mentioning and note-taking, is that the time when I realized, the time when I felt the sense of regret within me, was the time when I realized the darkest side of routine. I think most of us are blinded with the illusion of routine. I understand that routine gives us the sense of comfort and gives us the feeling that reassures us that things are going to work well for us in the future. But it also makes us unconscious of the grand scheme of life that is unexpected things are still going to happen. And because we are so blinded by the illusion of routine, we might be unprepared facing them. So this situation can be applied to many instances in your life. Say, if you're a student and you're around the age of 15 or 18, you might have already experienced love, the most precious, beautiful feeling that God has given us. So during the first few months of your relationship, you and your partner shared fun times with each other. You guys got to cuddle for the first time. You had someone by your side listening to your stories. You got someone to wish you a good night. But over time, wishing your partner a good night sounds more of like an obligation, sounds more of a burden than something that truly gives you true happiness. And over time, cuddling now doesn't give you the same arousal feeling that you once got during the first few months of your relationship. And all of this happened caused a lot of couples to break up. And this happened, I think, in most cases, is because we are blinded with the illusion of routine. But just in my personal story, because I was used to my mom cooking, so I took her cooking for granted. But then when my mom stopped cooking, I then realized how much I loved and how her cooking meant to me. So that's the same with your situation. Okay, so let's get back to my story then. How did I react to my mom stop cooking? Well, definitely I hated the food. I took out my phone more often while dining with my family. But the only time that I had to talk with my family is during dinner time. But while dining with my family, I try to avoid my mom and my mom's food as much as possible. So the relationship between my mom and I grew apart. Walking around the house, I felt like a stranger to her. And as I realized the distance between my mom and I felt I was wrong, and I tried to blame myself, tried to make me think that I was guilty. But then, things didn't change. And upon reflection, I came to the realization that I was stuck in a cycle of regrets. It seemed that the more I focused on past mistakes or missed opportunities, the more I was consumed by negative emotions or self-blame. It was as if those regrets were constantly replaying in my mind, preventing me from truly enjoying the present moment. Just like being in water. If we immerse ourselves in regrets for so long, we might not be drowning them, but we can become so consumed by them that we might risk losing the understanding the transformative aspects of the beauty that regrets offer for us. By fixating solely on regrets, we may overlook the valuable lessons regrets offer for us, or the opportunities they present for us. We must acknowledge regrets and learn from them, but not dwell on them to the point that they hinder our progress or our ability to appreciate the moment. And only by doing so will you be able to embrace them as your stepping stones in your journey of personal growth and change, will you be able to use them to shape a more fulfilling future of yours. So in that state of constant regrets, I failed to recognize the beauty of regrets. But now that I do, and I tell you that regrets can act as powerful catalysts for your personal growth and change, for your personal development. They motivate me to take actions. They motivate me to learn lessons. They motivate me to make improvements in your life. However, if we become too immersed in regrets, we might risk losing sight of the transformative aspects regrets can offer. So my ending line here would be, if you find the right treatment, illnesses will be easily washed away. So that is the key to my regrets, and that is my journey. Thank you so much for listening.